Welcome. We're going to tackle a skill that will absolutely level up your bird photography, mastering white balance. I know, it sounds a little technical, but stick with me. I promise by the end of this, you're going to see color in a whole new way. So let me ask you this. Have you ever taken a photo of a beautiful bird, right? Maybe a vibrant blue jay or a stunning cardinal, only to look at it later and the colors just feel wrong? Maybe the whole image has this weird blue tint where everything looks a bit too yellow. It's an incredibly common problem, and it all comes down to one single setting. And that setting is white balance. Really, all it is at its core is you telling your camera, hey, see this light we're in right now? This is what pure white looks like. Once your camera knows that one piece of information, it can figure out how to render every other color perfectly. Now here's where things get interesting, because our brains and our cameras see the world completely differently. Your brain, it's an absolute genius at this. It's always automatically compensating. You see a white bird, your brain just knows it's white. Doesn't matter if it's in the warm glow of a sunset or the cool light of a shady forest. Your camera sensor, though, well, it needs to be told what to do. And that's why this is so important. Getting your white balance right is the absolute key to capturing the true, vibrant colors of a bird's feathers and making its surroundings look natural and believable. It really is the foundation of getting great color in your photos. Okay, so let's talk about the one setting most of us probably leave on all the time, auto white balance, or AWB. I mean, it's designed to make things easy, right? But it's not always the hero we think it is, especially when it comes to bird photography. Look, the convenience of auto white balance is real, and for a lot of situations, it works great. But its logic is pretty simple. It scans the whole scene and tries to neutralize any really strong colors. And that's exactly where the problem starts. Because nature is just full of strong, beautiful color. These right here are the classic traps. You're shooting a bird against a huge patch of blue sky. Your camera's AWB sees all that blue and thinks, whoa, way too much blue. I gotta add yellow to balance this out. And what happens? You get a yellow-tinted bird. The exact same thing can happen in deep shade, which is naturally very blue, or if the background is just a wall of intense green leaves. The camera gets confused and it makes the wrong call. So, how do we fix this? Well, the first step to taking back control is getting to know your camera's built-in white balance presets. Just think of these presets as giving your camera direct orders. Instead of letting it guess, you're telling it exactly what kind of light you're in. Say it's a cloudy day. That light is naturally very cool, very blue. So if you pick the cloudy preset, you're telling the camera to add warmth, some yellows and reds, to fight that blue and make the scene look natural again. The shade preset? It does the same thing, just a lot more of it. Here's a really simple challenge for you. Next time you're out shooting and you find a bird in the shade, take a picture on auto white balance. Then just switch over to the shade or cloudy preset and take another one. I guarantee you the difference you see on the back of your camera will be dramatic and immediate. Presets are great. They're a huge step up. But now, let's talk about the single most powerful technique for getting perfect color every single time. And it all starts with changing just one setting in your camera menu, shooting in RAW. This right here, this is the whole shebang. When you shoot a JPEG, your camera makes all the decisions. It takes the data, applies your white balance setting, processes the colors, and then it compresses it into a final file. The color is baked in. You can't really do much to change it later. A RAW file, though, totally different. It's the pure, unprocessed raw data straight from the sensor. The white balance setting you picked is just saved as a little note on the side, a suggestion that you can completely change later with zero loss in image quality. So what does this mean for you? It means a brand new, totally stress-free workflow. You set your camera to RAW, and then you just forget about white balance out in the field. Seriously, you just focus on what's important, getting a sharp shot, getting the timing right, nailing the composition. All the color decisions, you can make those later when you're relaxed and sitting at your computer. And this is where it gets really fun, because once you're working with RAW files, you stop being just a technician fixing color problems, and you start becoming an artist making creative choices. All right, let's look at a real-world example. Here's a photo taken on a classic overcast day. The shot itself is nice, the bird is sharp, but because of that cool, cloudy light, the whole image just has this strong blue feel to it. It's a little bit lifeless, a little cold. Now, because this was shot in RAW, the fix is almost ridiculously easy. In pretty much any editing software, you just grab the color temperature slider and you nudge it away from blue and over towards yellow, just adding that warmth right back into the scene. And would you look at that result? With one simple move, that cold blue feeling is totally gone. The bird's feathers look natural, the greens pop, the whole photo just feels more inviting and, well, true to life. That is the power of shooting in RAW. So, here's the big idea to take away from all this. We've moved way beyond just correcting a photo. We are now in complete control. We can actually use color to shape the feeling, the mood, and the entire atmosphere of an image. Do you want to really emphasize the freezing cold of a winter morning? Okay, leave a little of that blue in there, maybe even add a tiny bit more. Want to make a sunset feel even warmer, more golden and magical? Push that temperature slider a little further into the yellows. Suddenly, white balance becomes this incredible tool for telling the story of that specific moment. And that really just leaves us with one final question. Now that you have these tools, everything from simple presets to the ultimate power of editing RAW files, the choice is totally yours. Are you going to just fix your photos? Or are you going to start using color to truly express your vision and to tell a much more compelling story? The power, believe me, is now in your hands.